Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. My name is Nat and I'm here for you. I am here for you. Hopefully I can cheer you up and help you find those keys to the door that will unlock your happiness. And that's my whole purpose here, is to help you find your happiness, man. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be happy. Cause it feels good. It's good to be happy. You know, all the stuff. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel of the book, The Positive Perspective. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it from my website, bepositivepodcast.com. You can order your personalized copy there, and you will also get, stickers and magnets and all kinds of good stuff there. So, you head on over there. All the stuff's in the description down there. You don't need me to tell you that every show, but I do need to remind you, in less than 10 days, the 500th podcast live event, June 11th at 9 p.m. Somehow I'm going to pull this off, and you're going to be able to call into the show and talk directly to me live, and we'll see what you have to say and see what you want to talk about. You can call 304-506-3332. That is also the text line, so feel free to drop me a text, and I will be unveiling a limited edition podcast 500th show shirt for the live event. It's looking pretty cool. I like it. I can't wait to show it to you on the show, and it will be available only through the podcast, through the live event. And it's going to be limited edition. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's that. So be on the lookout for that. All right, what the heck's going on here? All right, let's get on with the show. Let's just get into it, okay? And this show just came to me as I was coming down into my studio. Had no idea, as usual, what I'm going to talk about. You know, I just open my mouth and words come out. But you know what this show's about? This show's about our mind. It's about your mind. What's that silly saying? Your mind is a terrible thing. Oh, terrible thing to waste. That's what it is. But you know where most of the problems that we have, I would say 90% of the problems we have in our life is because of our mind. It's because of how we perceive it. It's how we're thinking about something, how we're responding to something, how we're reacting to something. What are we conjuring up in our mind that is making us angry, that is making us stressful, that is keeping us from doing the things we want to do, that is making us a procrastinator? What is it that keeps us from working out or eating right or quitting addictions? It's your mind, man. It's all in your mind. And ever since I was a little kid, I knew this from the youngest, as far back as I can remember. I always said this, that the mind controls the body. Well, as I got older, I realized that your mind controls more than your body. It controls your environment, controls your perception, it controls your health, and it controls your life. The way you perceive the outside world in your mind is the way it is. Have you ever tried to convince somebody of something that you think is 100% right and they think you're stupid and you're wrong? Have you ever tried to really convince somebody who just won't be convinced? Well, that's because their mind sees their world differently. And by you trying to force your opinion on someone else or convince someone that they are wrong, then you are insinuating that you are right. And who's to say what's right or wrong? Because what's right for me may not be right for you. So you don't have the right to put your thoughts in my mind. Now, every day, every waking moment of our lives, man, and so much more so now, our mind is being programmed and polluted and hypnotized to a certain way of thinking. We're being forced into submission, you know, and they're trying to assimilate our minds. Everybody, you know, the whole world, the marketing companies, the government, other people, celebrities, people are trying to have a one way of thinking, my way or the highway. And you have to realize, first of all, that it's your life. You choose to live it however you want. So a lot of times we will accept what's being pumped into our brains and just say, you know what? If I just accept it, if I just accept this insanity, then I could just go live my life and nobody will bother me, and I'll just do what I'm told and live out my days. And if that's you and you're okay with that, who am I to tell you you're wrong? Right? I can't tell you you're wrong. I can't tell you what you're doing is selling yourself short. I can't make you understand that you're not living your life. You're existing within someone else's parameters of what life is and what they want it to be. So how do you stop doing that? Well, you start thinking about what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about? What's in your mind that is controlling your life? Well, everything. Every thought you think is creating something in your life. Every little subliminal thought, I hate this person because of so-and-so, because they think this way, or they act this way, or they dress this way, or they smell this way, or they look this way. I hate this person. I don't want them in my life. Well, that's fine. Then don't have them in your life. But don't dwell on that in your mind. So often, people dwell on the negative. They persistently think about the things they dislike, the things they disagree with, the things and the thoughts that are different than what they perceive as reality. So, everyone has their own personal reality. And you create that by your personality, with your personality. That's directly from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who talks about that a lot, saying how our personality creates our personal reality. Now think about that phrase for a second. If you're a bitter person and everything sucks, and you get up and you stub your toe and you say today's going to suck, and then it does, and you go, see, I knew it. You don't even realize that you put that energy out there. You created that sucky day. And so many people say, no, it was going to suck anyway. Well, of course it is, because you've put that in your mind. Now, at first, it can be hard it's like a game. It's like a game you play with yourself. It's like, okay, maybe you're out of work. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you don't have enough food to eat in your house. But how can you be happy in a situation like that? Maybe you've got a terminal illness or something, or maybe you just lost someone you love. And so how can you be happy? How can you change that to being from constant depression and sadness to happiness? Well, in my mind, you have to first analyze, do you like feeling that way? Do you like feeling negative? Do you like feeling mad? Do you like the anger and the tension and the negative energy that surrounds the way you think? Do you like that? And you probably say, no, I can't stand it. I hate it. But so many times, so many people have become addicted to the negativity, and their subconscious is so used to it that when you don't have it, you feel like something's wrong. It's a habit. It's a lifestyle. It's a personality trait that you've created over the years by the way you think. Because the way you think and the way you feel determines your life. And it really does, if you think about it. I didn't mean that to pop in there, but if you think about it, your thoughts create your life, right? Have you ever I've said this in earlier podcasts a ways back, several hundred shows ago, that you can sit there and I can talk to you about, make you talk about one of the happiest times of your life. Maybe it's your wedding day. Maybe it's the day you graduated. Maybe it was the day you got a puppy or an animal or whatever it is. There's something in your life personally that I don't know that was the happiest moment of your life. Right? Now think about that and dwell on that and focus on that and put all other thoughts out of your mind. Think about that day, that moment, that feeling that you had of success, That feeling of fulfillment, of joy that you had at the happiest part of your life. Think about it for a while. Take the time, get quiet, and think about that. And then pay attention to how you feel. You feel good, right? You feel up, you feel uplifted, you feel joyous, you feel positive, you feel happy. Your mind just did that. Now to prove that, go over to the other side of the coin, or the other side of your mind, and think about the saddest day, the most depressing thing that's happened in your life, the worst thing that you could imagine. For me, it was the day my father died when I was 10 years old. And you go there, and you think about that, and you think about your emotions, and you get back to that state of mind in your mind, and totally engulf your thoughts in that emotion and that feeling. After a while, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that sadness. You're going to feel that loneliness. You're going to feel that depression and that lack of joy. And it's going to hit you hard, and you may cry. And then I want you to think, how did I do that? I did that with my thoughts. That's the easiest way to prove to yourself how powerful your mind is. You know, they say we only use like 5% of our brains. I think nowadays we only use about 0.5%. But it's really powerful. It creates the emotion, which gets the blood flow and the molecules and the neurons firing in different ways, creating different enzymes and chemicals in your body to produce euphoria or sadness or joy or anxiety or stress. And guess what? Your mind did it. Your thoughts are doing it. And we don't pay attention to our thoughts. So often we don't pay attention to our thoughts. We're on autopilot. Because the habits of life, once you start working, once you get out of school and you start working, you have a family, you get into the habits of life. You get into the rut. You get into the, I don't like to use the word rut. That sounds negative. Habits of life. Okay, you got to work to support your house that you live in, to buy food, to buy clothes, to put your kid in college, to pay for a car, to pay for gas, and you have to do certain things to live the lifestyle that you've chosen. Now I want to say that part again. You have to do these certain things to live the lifestyle that you have chosen for yourself. Now, if you're doing something you're not happy with, if you have a life that's not joyful and you're not doing something that makes you happy or brings you joy, or you feel like you're wasting your life, well, you are. Flat out. If you're not experiencing joy and you feel like you're just punching a clock waiting for your number to be called, you're wasting your life. But you say, but Nat, I got to pay my bills. I got mortgages to pay. I've got bills to pay. I've got a car I got to buy. I got this, I got that. Well, you don't have to do any of that. You choose to do it. And if you're living past your means and living check to check, which right now it's a stressful time for all of us. We're all the pennies are pinched. But if you're living past your means and you're not thinking about what you're spending and what your budget is and all that good stuff, you're stressing yourself out. You don't have to. What are you trying to prove? You know what I'm trying to prove? I'm trying to prove that it's easy to be happy. I like the life I've chosen for myself. I work to support that lifestyle. And I do the things that bring me joy. And if something doesn't bring me joy, then I don't do it. When I'm driving in traffic, if someone cuts me off, I'm not going to get pissed off for an hour or 2 hours because some idiot cut me off in traffic. I might say something real quick to myself, but then it's like, okay, whatever. What good is it to hold that anger? What good is it to build that stress up in your mind and carry that with you? How does it benefit you? How does it benefit you by holding on to negativity and stress and anxiety and all that? How does it help you? It doesn't. Oh, but I can't get rid of it because I have a stressful job. What's stressful about it? Deadlines? Well, you can only do what you can do. So quit trying to be someone you're not. Quit trying to impress people that don't matter. And just impress yourself. And above all, think about what you're thinking about. And remember the happy, sad thought test that I told you about earlier in the show. When you think about something that your happiest time in your life, you can feel that emotion. It builds up inside of you, and you understand that you created that happiness with your thoughts. And then when you think negative, bad stuff and sadness, you get there in your thoughts and you feel it, your whole body. You feel it through your whole body. The energy flows through your entire body. The negativity will flow through your entire body because of the thoughts that are in your head. So how important is your mind? How important is it to be aware of what you're thinking about? I think it's the most important thing that I talk about on this podcast is to actually be aware of what you're thinking about. Be aware and live in the moment. And I was talking to someone at work the other day, right after the Memorial Day weekend, and I mentioned that it was fantastic because there was a long period of time for most of the day hanging out with the family, experiencing the joy of being together. And that was my only thoughts. I wasn't thinking about work. I wasn't thinking about the podcast. I wasn't thinking about my vehicles or house payments or the government or the society or all the crap going on in the world. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I put all of that out of my mind and focused and put my energy 1,000,000% into the moment, to living in the moment and enjoying it. And that's a memory that I will cherish forever because all three of us were just in the moment. We weren't on any phones. There was no bullshit. Having a conversation, eating, just being together. And the energy fed on itself. I'm telling you, when you put that positive energy out there and you release that negative baggage, that shit you've been holding on to, that's, if you just think about it. Is it benefiting you? No, then get rid of it. But when you think about how the positivity, positive energy, and the good vibes that you put out there are infectious, they are. They are infectious. You will make someone else happy. You put a smile on someone's face and change someone's day. You could change someone's entire trajectory of their life with a few words just by believing in them or just listening to them, letting them vent and hear themselves and what they're thinking, and understand that they have the power to change their thoughts and to change their life. And I tell you what, that's one of the main things that I strive to do on the show is help you to understand how you can change your life by changing your thoughts. And when you really start to think about what you're thinking about, I know you hear that a lot on the show. I talk about that a lot. But when you really start to think about the things that are in your mind, the thoughts that are in your mind, and you start weeding out the negative stuff, weeding out the things that aren't benefiting you, that aren't bringing you joy, the thoughts, the road rage, the anger at someone because they think differently than you, the propaganda that you see, the whatever it is that offends you. When you're offended about something or you're upset about something, does it really help to hang on to it and dwell on it and keep that negative energy inside of you? Because when you're, that old saying that laughter is the best medicine. Well, I'm not saying to go laugh at a funeral, but look at it as what it is. It's the passing of the energy to a different realm that we can't see. We have this body for a short amount of time. And to think about and dwell on the negativity and things that stress you out and not focus on the joyous things in your life, you're wasting this opportunity. And you got to remember, you chose to come here. Whether you understand this or not, I understand it in my way. Whether you believe it, understand it or not, you chose to be here in this meat suit at this point in time for a reason. And that reason is not to be miserable. It's not to make other people miserable. It's not to force your opinions on other people. That reason you're here is to learn how to love, to experience joy, to experience the physical manifestation of your consciousness. Now, nobody can really explain what happens after we die. No one can explain where we were before we got here. It's all hearsay. Everything is hearsay. Because there's no proof. Nobody has proof of anything, of where we came from, where we're going to go. So our purpose here is to understand and figure out what our purpose is, right? Why are you here? What are you good at? What brings you joy? How can you share joy? How can you share happiness? How can you make the world a better place? How can you leave it a better place than you found it? My mom used to say, when you go to somebody's house or you go camping or you go somewhere, always leave it cleaner than you found it. Well, same goes for life. Leave the world better than you found it. And that comes from your thoughts and our mind, your mind, my mind. So pay attention to what you're thinking about. And if there's negative shit in there, don't hold on to it. There's no reason to. It doesn't help you. So it's time to move away from holding on to negativity and hold on to the happy stuff and think joyous thoughts. So, okay, that's what I got for you, man. That's all I got. That's it. I'm out of words for this show. Okay, man. I'm really getting excited about this live event. This podcast, the 500th show. Unbelievable. I really can't believe that I've talked for 4 years straight and done almost 500 shows. June 11th, 9 p.m. One way or the other, you'll be able to talk to me directly. I'm hoping to have a live video, so you'll be able to see me, which is kind of frightening. I don't know if you want to do that, but well, you might do that. I might try to stream on YouTube. I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's not going well, but one way or the other, even if we're just on the phone and I can't even do a podcast like that, I don't know. We'll figure something out. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. Don't forget, hit up the text line 304-506-3332. I think you can also call that number right now and leave a message, a voicemail, and I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget about the book, The Positive Perspective. You can get it on my website and on Amazon. And be prepared for the unveiling of the new live event shirt, the limited edition shirt that will be available for order during the live show. And it's limited. There's only a certain amount of them, so grab them while you can. They're pretty cool. I think it's my coolest shirt yet. And I have to say that I wish it was my idea, but I had to give credit to my daughter, who is now my marketing manager. So she's doing a fantastic job. That's it. That's the show. Think about what you think about. Pay attention to the thoughts that are rattling around in that head of yours and let the negative stuff out. All right. My name is Nat. This has been the Be Positive, Stay Positive podcast. I think we can all do a little bit better. I'll talk to you later.